Hey guys, welcome to VGS Astro. Today I'm going to be talking about Rahu Ketu Transit for the year 2023 to 2025. So Rahu goes to Pisces and Ketu goes to Virgo. What does this tell you? So I'm going to focus first on the sign, the Pisces sign. And the Pisces sign is a water sign. And among the other water signs, Pisces represents the oceanic water. Why? Because it is ruled by Jupiter, which stands for expansion, right? So the other water sign, which is Cancer, represents pure water, which is rainwater. Why? Because the Cancer sign is ruled by the moon, which represents purity. And the Scorpio sign is also a water sign, but it is linked to river water or industrial water or anything that is treated basically because Scorpio represents the eighth, in which all things undergo a transformation. So water that is treated with chemicals like chlorine or made fit for drinking by exposing to UV or anything that makes water transform into something can be likened to the Scorpio sign. Now, before I begin with the whole transit thing, I want to request that you do not skip any part of this video, especially the introduction. Why? Because you will gain a better understanding of what this transit holds for you if you go through the general theme of Rahu Ketu Transit for the year 2023 to 2025. So you need to understand the underlying philosophy, theme on which the transit is now operating, which is going to serve as the crux and clue you in on what you can expect for the next 18 months. So let's begin with Rahu Ketu Transit. Rahu now goes to Pisces. So Rahu is going to get you closer to ocean water. There's going to be an inner obsession among a lot of people to work in a city which shares a seashore or where there's a beach in that city. And for some others, it's going to be an obsession to cross the ocean and move to a distant land. So we're talking foreign countries here. So this can happen due to a number of reasons. One being career, where you're asked to relocate to a place where there's a seashore, or you would move to a distant foreign land, crossing the ocean, or you would change residence because of some malefic in the fourth from your ascendant or your moon sign and move closer to a city which has a seashore. And there could be any number of reasons for this happening, right? But I also want to draw everybody's focus here towards the milestones and technological advancements with regards to marine biology. There's going to be a lot of milestones being achieved in marine engineering, the way the maritime trade happens, or maritime security gets tightened, or exploration in deep ocean happens. So even the way the fishes are culled from the sea to how it gets marketed and sold, all of this is going to undergo a big change. It's going to change the way things are traditionally done. And this is going to happen because of new talent, new faces who are very eager to explore the possibility of bringing a change to what has been traditionally done. So if you are already in the field of anything connected with water, especially the ocean water, then you're going to face a stiff competition from the outside world, where you're going to see a surge in new talent which seeks to overpower and overthrow the existing system of functioning, which of course you may not like, but that's just the way it is. Because remember, Rahu and Ketu, as far as Parashara is concerned, Rahu and Ketu are not benefic planets, right? They are first-grade malefics. They're not bringers of ordinary change. They're bringers of disruption. They're bringers of chaos. So Rahu is someone who would hypnotize the crowd, take them in a different path from what they believed in all these days. They want to completely destroy the effective functioning of something and bring about disorder and chaos. And that's what Rahu Ketu is all about. So when Rahu is giving you a boost to your income or to the economy in general, remember it comes at a cost. It's not all glorious. You have to pay the price for that. So the first few months may fetch extremely good cash flow in these areas, but in the longer term, this could have potential issues for the consumers, for the clientele, which will, of course, get corrected over a period of time because of Jupiter. So no need to worry about it for the longer term. But if it's a product you're purchasing connected with water and new technology, if it's something new, I would definitely advise that you stay away from it for at least 5 to 6 years before you make it a part of your daily life. Now, for example, remember canned tuna fish, which wasn't available till 19th century, where people consumed it in huge numbers because fresh foods were not accessible. So that was the need. There was a need for innovation at that time, and it definitely came, but it all came at a cost. We all know today the harmful effects of canned food over fresh sources. So whenever there's a change in the way things are processed or sold, please give it a second thought and question everything regarding its safety before you try it out. The second aspect of Rahu in Pisces is that this is the original house of Jupiter where Venus gets exalted, right? So Jupiter owns the 9th house and also the 12th house in the natural zodiac order. So here, Rahu is diving into the ocean of religion and spirituality. But come to think of it, more spiritual than religious, because the Sagittarius sign is more religious compared to the Pisces sign, which is actually the spiritual sign or house. And when Rahu enters this house, he's completely bewildered by this house. He does not belong here, but he's now a believer in higher truth. Rahu wants to know more and more about spirituality. He sees a new dimension to it, which he hasn't seen before. And now he's becoming obsessed with spirituality or spiritual knowledge or anything connected with freedom or liberation or breaking the fetters of convention. So he's obsessed with immortality that he could gain by being spiritual. Remember, this is the original obsession of Rahu. So he wants to transcend death and suffering. He's like, how is it that I have known about this for so long? This is a place of peace and serenity, which I've been longing for. And now, so Rahu is so obsessed with this house. He wants to keep exploring and dive deep into spirituality. And this is also supported by Ketu in Virgo. Ketu supports the position of Rahu by letting go of any preconceived notions about attaining divinity, and definitely it's going to help these people by freeing their questioning mind about the nature of the self, about the nature of the mind, and how consciousness is linked to all of this. So it's like Ketu telling you that you can't reach God through material sciences, as divinity is beyond space and time. And that's why Ketu here is such a blessing. Ketu is going to take away the belief of people in the accepted standards of reasoning. How? I'll get there in a minute, but all you need to know is that Ketu here is going to support Rahu in believing in teachers, in believing in philosophers and saints to lead them to higher truth. Such a wonderful and complementing position, which we see only once in 18 years. So make the best of this, guys. So if you've been enjoying this content, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe below. Please give it a like and share this video with your friends. Coming back to Ketu, so how is it that Ketu destroys reasoning or accepted method of reasoning? It's because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, where it gets exalted. And Mercury is a planet known for intelligence, both in terms of communication, structured language, as well as in science, technology, and mathematics. So now Gemini is a sign which rules communication, whereas Virgo, it's all about calculations. It's about mathematics. It's about being scientific or employing the logic of science and math in everyday life. When Ketu goes into Virgo, Some people tell me that Ketu is a wonderful mathematician, so he's going to fare well in Virgo. But that's not actually true. The very first signification of Ketu is cutting asunder whatever comes in its path. So when Ketu goes into Virgo, it's going to impair their straight thinking. There's going to be a lot of letting go of scientific temper. People are going to be less logical, less rational in their approach towards the areas signified by that sign, which means people are going to be putting a lot of blind faith in spirituality, in occult sciences, in divinity, which is fine, but completely throwing away logical reasoning and expecting miracles to happen is going to have a very serious repercussion on their lives. Talk about throwing the baby along with the bathwater. That's what Ketu is in Virgo. There's going to be some knee-jerk reaction by people on issues connected with science. Scientific inquiries are going to take a backseat, or they're going to take the wrong turn. And some people may even end up giving up their research work that they've been believing in or pursuing just because it doesn't make any sense to them now. And some of them are going to give up even respectable positions in society, such as being a professor or someone doing research work, and then suddenly moving on to do physical labor, like being a farmer or a sports coach. And there are a lot of people during this time who would want to give up whatever it is that they've been doing and to go back to their own roots, their ancestral roots, which is probably signified by Rahu. There's going to be a complete 180-degree shift in some people, especially those who are in their 41st or 42nd year and 47th or 48th year. There's going to be a huge shift in their careers, and they're going to be making some of the most biggest decisions in their entire life. Of course, now Virgo is also the sixth sign in the natural zodiac order. So sixth house represents diseases. So Ketu in Virgo will heal many people from long-term disease, because remember, Ketu is cutting away diseases, but the world will see a rise in Alzheimer's disease. There's going to be a lot of confusion, a lot of forgetfulness among people of all ages. New, old inquiries in mathematics is going to falter. Generally, a really stagnating position in these areas. And Ketu in Virgo is also going to affect investors in stocks and commodities. Why? Because there's going to be a lot of irrational investment and spike in stock and commodities just based on faith instead of being driven by data. So here, Ketu is ripping off the scientific temperament in people. People are going to be non-concerned about where their money is going. People are going to invest in any company that they feel is going to make it in the future, just based on stories and philosophies and promises, which will affect them in the long run, especially after 2025. And the results are going to be pretty shocking for some of these people when they realize that the numbers don't add up, that the numbers don't match the story. That's my introduction about Rahu Ketu transit during 23-25. And I've made a video about the Ketu affecting the stock market from the perspective of India. And I do request that you look at that video. You're going to enjoy that video as well. Since we have come to the end of the introduction, I'm now going to focus on each ascendant and see how I can give a more accurate prediction or a snapshot of what's going to happen in the next 18 months based on their ascendant or moon sign. Okay, let's begin with Rahu Ketu transit for Aries ascendant. For Aries ascendant, Rahu and Ketu are in the 12th and 6th axis. And the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I see this combination is foreign travel. especially with Rahu and Pisces. It's most often than not something to do with crossing the ocean. Some of you may be embarking on a journey to different countries or distant foreign lands, either due to educational pursuits abroad, or relocate due to work, or even seek better prospects in foreign lands. Now, it's definitely positive in terms of progress and prosperity, but the thing that you need to watch out for is that it's going to strain your finances. It's going to cause a spike in spending for the next 18 months, which is very natural, so no need to worry about that. But not everyone will cross oceans. Some might settle near the sea or stay put, but expenses is still going to see a rise. So that is where you need to be very, very careful. Being away might also spark a connection to spirituality as a way to stay connected to your homeland. You might embrace customs or traditions from your roots, seeking that familiarity in your new home, or at least try and follow an existing philosophy which was followed by your ancestors, and you will be taking that to your new place of residence, which will bring a sense of, say, being closer to your homeland and also being closer to divinity. And Aries folks, many of you are going to look for bigger opportunities, better prospects, and let me tell you that all of these are on the cards for the next 18 months for you guys to explore, and there's definitely success on the card. So keep going, guys. On the negative side, Aries folks may also end up making quite a few rivals, if not enemies, in their new job or place of stay. The planet which you need to appease right now among Rahu and Ketu is Rahu at the moment. Though Rahu and Ketu are not different planets, they're different sides of the same coin. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to be providing remedies for different sides of the same coin, so to speak. So as far as Rahu is concerned, you need to be modest and humble in your new place of work. That's the way you appease Mars. You need to appease Rahu. And as far as Ketu is concerned, the alignment shows that you're going to maintain a very cheerful outlook on life, so no remedies required. If you can take this behavior for keeping Rahu in check, I can guarantee you that it's going to catapult you to new heights, to greater heights. So always keep your feet on the ground, no matter how high of a place you reach. But if you're having nightmares, trouble sleeping, unknown anxiety, or insecurity, then you can consider remedies for Ketu, because these are the Ketu affects the subconscious mind more than the waking state. So that is where the Ketu comes in, and that's where you need to consider a remedy for Ketu. Now, as far as income is concerned, income is going to be slow. You won't be seeing magical things happening very quickly. So keep working hard, and you will see that this will fetch you very good dividends down the line. And hey, if you enjoy this content, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you're new. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Okay, coming to Taurus Ascendants, Taurus Moon. Taurus Ascendants may have seen some big expenditure in the past year and also moving forward, but now you're going to see some really big opportunities for some really big gains coming your way in the next 1.5 years. And some of you may see big gains, significant success in terms of finance or expanding your network circle, especially in foreign countries or across nations. That's a big plus for Taurus folks. And some of you may also see dreams coming true, wish fulfillment during this time. So pray and hope for the good, and I can assure you that you will get nothing short of good things in your life during this transit. And you are also going to get the support of your siblings, whether elder or younger, during this time due to Rahu in the 11th house. However, I would advise you to stay very careful about your spending habits, especially where you put your money. You're going to have to be extremely conservative during this time. No speculation or gambling will be beneficial. So do not try anything of that sort. Even if you do not lose sleep over minor losses, because worrying again might make your expenses go up, because worrying has never done any good to anyone except cause health issues, both mental as well as physical, which in my opinion is totally not worth it. Okay, and Taurus folks, another thing that you need to look out for is people trying for children who may be in for some disappointment at this time, or even people who have children may have to face some form of separation due to their children's educational pursuits, where the child may have to stay in a hostel away from home, or they may have to move to a different place due to work obligations, and that might just cause some disappointment in you. But remember, it's not worth worrying about these things. So the remedy for you among Rahu and Ketu will obviously be with regards to Ketu. So you need to learn to share your possessions, spend freely on people, maybe even donate to orphanages, children's library, or in renovating a public school, and not be bothered about the money being spent, okay? And that's the karmic remedy for Taurus folks for the next 1.5 years. You do this dharma as regularly as possible, and you will see that you are coming out of the serpent's influence on separation and loneliness and withdrawal, and you're going to have a very good 18 months. Now, if what I shared speaks to you, I would appreciate your subscription to my channel if you are new here, and also consider leaving a comment or sharing this with your friends, which will be greatly appreciated. Okay, now let's have a look at Gemini Ascendants or Gemini Moon. For Gemini Ascendants and Gemini Moon, Rahu moves to your 10th and Ketu to the 4th. So definitely, again, a perfect combination for relocating to a new place of residence or new place of work, especially crossing the ocean or moving near a seashore, or at least a change from where you've been staying previously. That's a big possibility during this time. And some of you may have to leave your comfort zone in search for better opportunities. Things are going to be a bit difficult with regards to adjusting to the new environment of stay, but you're going to make some really big contribution at your workplace, which is going to give you great success. Some of you even may quit jobs and take on new roles, new positions in a different firm. You may have some initial hiccups, some difficulty in blending in with your coworkers, but you will find a common platform to engage with your coworkers. There's so much more wisdom and so much more experience in your coworkers that you tend to appreciate, but you will be taking them through a different route, through a dimension that they may not appreciate, but have no other choice but to accept and go with. So remember to stick to ethical ways of working, which will benefit not just you, but also the firm and also your clientele. But in case you don't do that, the money and position which you enjoy will leave you as quickly as it came to you. So the mantra here is to imbibe the timeless wisdom of everybody that's worked in realizing the shared goals of all the stakeholders and transforming it in the best possible way without hurting anyone's feelings. So obviously, the remedy here among the two planets for Gemini folks would be Rahu. Things will go down south if ego takes over your work. Remember to stay grounded. Remember to respect the tradition and customs and timeless wisdom that's been passed on by all your predecessors at your workplace, and then bring that change in ways that is acceptable to everyone by bringing in a sense of inclusiveness. That's the way you're going to succeed and remain in that position. Do not forget, Gemini, staying in that position is as important as getting there. So do not go for shortcuts and try things that would get you instant fame. Instead, take a collective opinion and try and draw a consensus at your workplace, which will no doubt win the hearts of many people around you, although you may sense that they are feeling insecure or fearful of you. So You need to break that feeling, that you need to break that insecurity in order to succeed. You need to find a way to tell them that things are not as bad as they imagine it to be. So also, Rahu Ketu transit may give you some health related issues, especially low blood pressure. If you're suffering from low BP, remember to speak your heart and share your feelings, at least with one person, to come out of this way of the negative effects of this transit. If you're nodding along, why not join the channel by hitting subscribe and become part of this family interested in the greater good of humanity, and also being forewarned and forearmed for one's own self. Okay, next we have Cancer Ascendants or Cancer Moon. Now, most Cancer folks enjoy staying at home, don't they? And it looks like the universe is giving you the gift of time at home, and the next 1.5 years you're going to spend less time commuting, whether that's commuting to work or the marketplace or even going somewhere to visit someone. All of this is going to take a back seat for the next 18 months. It's like the stars have heard your prayers and is now blessing you with the time for family and staying nestled and cozy. Some of you may also opt for a work from home option, or the kind of job that allows you to give more time to your family, especially your father, and also to fulfill your religious obligations. But the negative side is that Rahu, being in the 9th house of father and religion, and also dharma and good luck, is not doing well here, because 9th house is considered as the Marana Karakasthana for Rahu. Rahu doesn't fit in the 9th house. Rahu himself is an outcast. He doesn't belong in the house of religion. He's the excommunicated person, and now being in the 9th house, he's asked to embrace religion, embrace the authority of his religion, to follow the principles and tradition and customs of his dharma. So there's an inner conflict in Rahu at the moment. He is not happy, but because he has no choice but to embrace religion, he has to go with it. It's almost like this position is inflicting death on Rahu, and hence the name Marana Karakasthana. But guess what? Rahu for Cancer folks owns the 8th house, because it is the co-ruler of Aquarius along with Saturn. And since it is the 8th lord, the power to inflict death-like situations in the 9th house gets drastically minimized, because Rahu himself is in a turmoil, and you can think of him as weak or confused. So trouble to father may also get minimized during this time. Your children may bring in a sense of calm and peace to your father, and your father may spend much of his time keeping himself extremely busy, whether that's art or music, or even spending time watching TV or admiring the creative aspects of glamour and entertainment at this time. Rahu will also bring some interest in other religions at this time. You may become a believer in other religions, or at least be more open-minded in accepting other religions, because it is more practical, or that it serves your purpose and you feel more in tune and connected with the aspects of that religion. 9th house is also about higher education. So people who are working on studying religion or doing a comparative study are going to find themselves immersed in it. They can't have enough of it, but Ketu in the 3rd is going to restrict them from talking about it with anybody else. Rahu, being the 8th lord, also means that you're going to be studying in secrecy. That kind of adds up to the situation. But what you need to avoid this time is self-righteousness and pride in the beliefs that you hold. That will bring some of your karmic points down, and that is something that you need to watch out for. For Cancer folks, if you're feeling insecure for your relationship with your siblings, then make sure that you pray to Lord Vishnu. And that's all for Cancerians. If you enjoy this content, remember your support means a lot to me. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Next up, we have Leo Ascendants or Leo Moon. And for Leo Ascendants, Rahu now goes to the 8th house, which is definitely going to give you some sudden health-related issue at this time, and also some negative results due to an ongoing debt or loan that you may have borrowed from a bank or an institution or even an individual. So trouble is on the cards for Leo ascendants, especially due to loan sharks. So if you're going to get into debt or take out a loan or lend money to someone, please be careful. Do not borrow money or lend money for the next 18 months. Rahu may also give you a sudden interest and curiosity towards secret knowledge like astrology or tarot or the Vedic sciences. And some of you may be drawn towards spirituality in the hopes that your situation is somehow going to be resolved magically by knowing more about it. Do not forget, Rahu is obsession, and sometimes it's just smoke and mirrors at the end of the transit, so watch out for that. And Rahu in the 8th may also make you deal with a lot of will and succession related documents. At this time, it might bring in inheritance. Some of you may end up investing that money in places you should not be and may lose out the entire investment due to a contractual fine print, or you may lose out the will of your parents or grandparents to someone in your family due to a court decree, and they might end up inheriting the entire asset, causing a rift in the family relationship. Please remember not to invest money for the next 18 months in institutions that you don't understand and have never invested before, or the contract might bind you and legally extract money, leaving you with nothing, and even a court of law may not be able to help you in this situation. Remember, the reason that I'm telling you this is because forewarned is forearmed. So take the necessary precautions, and if this video resonated with you, I request you to give it a thumbs up, and also if you're new, please subscribe to my channel. Also share this video with your friends. Next, let's look at Virgo ascendants or Virgo moon sign. For Virgo folks, it seems like wedding bells are in the cards for some of you guys. So there may be some hair splitting in choosing the right partner. So how do you go about it? The stars want you to choose a partner without having any expectation from this marriage. If you have a lot of expectation, it might just backfire. So remember, you don't need a reason to marry, and marriage is its own reward. You may have plenty of options to choose from, but the thing that you need to embrace at this time is that every individual is different. You cannot expect the qualities that you see in one person to reflect in the other, or in other words, do not expect the best of qualities that you have seen in people to reflect in the nature of your spouse or your potential spouse. So the mantra here is keeping your expectation low or completely at level 0 while choosing your spouse. The stars are definitely poised to help you get married at this time, but Ketu in the first house may give you some health related issues, especially stomach related issues or issues connected to your abdominal area at this time. Same goes to your spouse as well. Nothing to worry, mostly treatable, but do take whatever precautions that you can at the moment. You may also find your spouse or potential partner to be a bit more domineering, daring, and also egotistical. So those of you who are married to Virgo ascendants or looking to attract a Virgo ascendant, make sure that you don't sound domineering or authoritative, as that is going to cause a rift in the relationship. Among the two planets, I would suggest appeasing Ketu at the moment because of the potential health problems. So my advice is that Virgo folks should not try to self-medicate. That is not going to help you come out of the ailments that you may have at the moment. You need to talk to a proper and qualified physician who can help you with the problems you're facing. If you face gastrointestinal issues during the next 18 months, please reach out to a qualified doctor as soon as possible before the symptoms become worse. Remember, folks, forewarned is forearmed. In a way, you are the architect of your future. So take whatever precautions you can. If you are facing anxiety or subconscious fears, due to a looming health issue or generally scared of pain and suffering, then my advice to you is to turn to meditation and yoga at this time, which will help you come out of this difficult phase. That's all for Virgo, and a thumbs up and subscribing would mean a lot if you are on a path to better health with us. Also help other Virgo folks discover valuable health insights by sharing this video with them. Moving on, we have Libra Ascendants or Libra Moon sign. For Libra Ascendants or Libra Moon sign, Rahu is now going to the 6th house, and it co-rules the 5th house along with Saturn, and 6th house also represents maternal uncle, and Rahu in the 6th, among other things, also represents contracting a communicable disease and then spreading it. So some of you may already have seen your maternal uncle suffer from a viral disease or something that's communicable. And if not, I would suggest that you pass on the message to take care of themselves during this time. And this could also be the case with you. So remember, forewarned is forearmed, but mostly the time for hospitalization or intensive care has already passed by the time I uploaded this video. Libra Ascendants are also going to see their prayers getting fructified, their good karmas coming back to help them tackle loans, debt, disease, and also any hidden enemies that they may not be aware of. It will be taken care of automatically. There's very little you need to do right now. And the purpose for the debt that you may have borrowed may also see some fruition at this time, giving you some extra money, which would put you in a better capacity or position to repay the loan or debt that you may have taken out. And many of the instances that I just mentioned, whether positive or negative, will happen all of a sudden when you least expect it. And it would take you by surprise. So fasten your seatbelt, Librans, because you are going to see some sudden changes for the next 18 months. Mostly positive effects, especially a lot of progress and prosperity, both in terms of gaining good health, or should I say letting go of anything that contributes to bad health, but some negatives along the way which you will encounter and emerge victorious, which will definitely make you a lot stronger in dealing with difficult situations in future should they arise. And it seems like your focus should primarily be on safeguarding your child's well-being and happiness, especially by ensuring a safe and comfortable environment at home, limiting exposure to crowded places, weather extremes, and outside food might help prevent illness and maintain their health. Additionally, there's a warning about keeping a low profile regarding your child, as there might be individuals harboring jealousy or ill intentions towards your family's prosperity. So avoid drawing unnecessary attention from the public, and that could protect your child from negative energies. Moreover, humility and modesty in discussing your accomplishments seem crucial. Instead of highlighting your personal achievements, acknowledging and crediting everyone involved would be wise. This approach could prevent perceptions of arrogance or self-centeredness, fostering better relationships and reputation among those around you. Ultimately, from what I see, prioritizing your child's safety, maintaining humility in accomplishments, and being cautious about your energies around your family seem to be the key suggestions here. And it sounds like Ketu's placement in the 12th house might be influencing a desire for a more minimalistic lifestyle. And this could prompt a shift in focus towards reducing material possessions and embracing a lighter, less encumbered way of living. The notion of preparing for a potential move or relocation could also be a significant factor in this mindset. This period could indeed prompt a re-evaluation of what's truly essential, leading to a conscious effort to declutter and live more lightly, both physically and economically, and perhaps emotionally or spiritually as well. Speaking about spirituality, Librans, what an excellent time for you guys to concentrate on spirituality, whether that's non-duality or meditation, or even something that brings you a sense of renunciation. It will be a great leap forward in unlocking a wonderful phase in your life. Among the two planets, I would be interested in seeking a remedy for Rahu, as there's going to be a number of sudden events during this transit. So offering vermilion to Goddess Lakshmi and Goddess Parvati at this time will appease the karmic effect. Together, let's create a positive impact. Like, subscribe, and share this content to help us reach more people with our message of well-being and humility. Next up, we have Scorpio Ascendants or Scorpio Moon sign. Rahu now will be entering the 5th house in your chart, which shows that you will now be intrigued by the world of stock market, trading in equities and commodities, and it's like you have now found a new toy to play with. But Ketu in the 11th is minimizing the prospects of your gains and income during this time. So the general suggestion here is to stay away from speculative incomes or anything that promises quick return from trade and investments that you might want to gain in a short duration. Try to cut back on those desires and you will sail through this phase like a passing cloud. Rahu here can also increase the prospects of having children, sometimes more than what you bargained for, resulting in twin births like a bonus. Although this is a reason to celebrate as the joys are doubling for you, you are still reeling from all the expenses that you had shouldered all along. I totally understand. So indeed, you are going to see some big changes coming your way in terms of progeny and a shift in your lifestyle, and therefore you may have reasons to worry about the increased expenses due to unexpected expansion in your family. And also remember, Rahu co-rules the 4th house of Aquarius, and therefore you will see joy and happiness coming your way during this time. 4th house also represents the mind because it is the house of the moon in the natural zodiac order. And 5th house represents intelligence. So you are going to be at the peak of your intelligence. You will seek pursuits, intellectual pleasures, whether that's through art, music, astrology, or anything that demands intellectual effort. This is a place where you will find yourself doing the oddest of things that you never thought you would be doing or even remotely interested in doing. Some of you may also be drawn towards other religions and teachings other than your own, and you have no problem in seemingly integrating these beliefs into your lifestyle. The openness to integrate these diverse beliefs into your lifestyle reflects a broad-minded approach and a willingness to explore and adapt to new ideas and perspectives. You will also get the comforts of vehicles, and some materialistic comforts are promised during this transit. However, your wish fulfillment or expansion in social circle and also income in particular may take a backseat during this time. If you are facing fears and anxiety related to losing money or not being able to make enough money and you're sweating it, then the best remedy for you at this time would be to appease Ketu. Take refuge under Lord Ganesha or Lord Shiva, who can bring a lot of relief during this time for Scorpios. Additionally, you may also consider a long walk to a temple barefoot. That's the remedy given to Scorpio folks at this time. And that's all for Scorpios. If you are excited about exploring diverse interests and growing intellectually, join our community by liking, subscribing, and sharing this enriching content. Next up, we have Sagittarius Ascendants or Sagittarius Moon sign. So for you folks, Rahu now enters the 4th house and Ketu enters the 10th house. So here you can be seeing the common themes of shifting or moving to a different place or town, somewhere near the sea, or sometimes even a bigger house, maybe in the offing. If you have missed the introduction or the general theme for the Rahu Ketu transit, please have a look at that to gain a better understanding. Rahu here can give you a bigger house, which means that there is a possibility of expansion of the present house into a bigger one. The shift to a bigger house or the process of expanding the current one could involve considerable effort and initial hiccups, which is also seen from Rahu co-ruling the third house of Aquarius, bringing in monstrous efforts to the native. Ultimately, while the prospect of a larger home brings promise and potential, the initial stages of adjustment and the responsibilities involved in this expansion might prove demanding. Remember, this is not just about comfort, but also a duty for you. You are now duty bound to finish what you have started. And this transit is also going to bring in the support of your siblings in enriching your lifestyle, whether that's home or family or renovation or buying a vehicle or anything that involves in leading a comfortable lifestyle. But as it is with Rahu, Rahu is ultimately a malefic planet. So there may be ulterior motives in the support that you get at this time. So do not forget to take care of yourself and family as you're going to be shifting your focus elsewhere. Rahu, being the third lord, can also bring you some success if you are in the transportation sector, or which involves you to move from one place to another, or if you are in a field which requires you to communicate. However, you may face some difficulties in your business or workplace due to Ketu in the 10th house, and some of you may even quit jobs to find new ones. If you haven't seen my introduction or the general theme of this transit, then please watch the beginning of the video to understand. Remember, transit will have great negative impacts on you if you try to boast grandiloquent about your efforts or your home life. You will then begin to face losses in the areas that I just mentioned. The remedy here is, of course, for Ketu and worship of Lord Vishnu or Ganesha this time will see you through the difficulties during this time. Next up, we have Capricorn Ascendants, Capricorn Moon signs. And for Capricorns, it seems like this year might bring some challenges and positive changes, especially concerning family, finances, and communication. First off, the downside. Ketu's presence in the 9th house might strain relationship, especially with father, or cause health-related issues for them. And for some Capricorn folks, they might have to part ways with their father. This is a year where there could be a sense of sadness or difficulty in finding joy and happiness, even though things may work out eventually. Financially, it might be tough, requiring immense effort just to keep things afloat. To ease this, praying to Lord Shiva could help mitigate the negative effects of Ketu. However, here's the silver lining. Despite one door closing due to Ketu's influence, Rahu in the 3rd house indicates a rise in income and social status. Work-wise, you will gain respect and a better position. You will also start focusing on improving your communication skills. This period will challenge you to enhance your life skills through effective communication. But a word of caution, do not let success get to your head. Overconfidence might lead to unexpected setbacks or losses. Staying humble and seeking wisdom and blessings is crucial during the next 1.5 years. And remember, astrology offers insights, but it's how we navigate these influences that truly shapes our experience. Stay grounded, embrace growth, and stay open to the lessons this period might offer. And also do not hesitate to take precaution, as that would cost you dearly and make you regret not doing anything sooner. Remember, forewarned is forearmed. only if you take the required action or remedy. If this content resonates with you, do give it a thumbs up and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. Next up, we have Aquarius Ascendants or Aquarius Moon sign. Rahu goes to the second house and Ketu goes to the 8th house. And for Aquarius Ascendants or Aquarius Moon sign, the current phase may feel like treading through molasses. Everything seems to move at a snail's pace. Health issues might have loomed at the year's outset, with some possibly enduring broken bones or being confined to a sedentary lifestyle for a while. However, this transit brings a slow but gradual departure from these health concerns that have held you captive. With Ketu's influence in the 8th house, the upcoming 1.5 years might signify a rather uneventful phase. Few peaks and valleys, keeping life relatively grounded. It's a period that could feel flat, but within this steadiness lies the opportunity for slow but steady healing and a gradual resurgence from the health challenges you have faced. Though it might seem like a slow journey, this phase serves as a time for stability and a chance to recover from health setbacks. Embracing this period of calm and groundedness might pave the way for a gradual but sure return to vitality and wellness. The arrival of Rahu brings a dose of financial instability, yet it carries a valuable lesson. It prompts a fiery pursuit of saving money. During this phase, you will learn the philosophy that every penny saved is akin to earning it. This transit is going to nudge you towards a path of financial prudence and smart saving strategies. However, the placement of Ketu in the 8th house and Rahu in the 2nd house might cast a shadow on potential inheritances. If you've been anticipating an inheritance, there's a chance it might not materialize for you. Instead, it could pass on to another family member, potentially putting you in a position where maintaining a cordial relationship becomes crucial for your stability within the family. So this phase presents both financial challenges and teachings in the art of saving. So it's a period of financial turbulence where you're encouraged to learn the value of fiscal responsibility and frugality despite potential setbacks and expected inheritances. Adapting to these shifts, staying financially prudent, and exploring alternative means of stability might be essential during this time. Aquarius folks, let's talk about a powerful remedy for Rahu and Ketu's influence. Practicing honesty and truthfulness for the next 18 months could be a game changer. By sticking to these principles, you might reduce negative karmic imprints and open doors to success. Embracing integrity in all your dealings might just lead to positive outcomes and personal growth during this phase. Last but not least, we have Pisces Ascendants or Pisces Moon sign. So for all you Pisces out there, let's talk about this interesting astrological transit. Rahu is shifting to your ascendant and Ketu is taking a position in your 7th house. What does this mean? Well, it's like a cosmic invitation for some serious changes in your life. Rahu chilling in your 1st house tends to stir up desires for material success. But hold up, this time it's doing something different for Pisces folks. Instead of just pushing for worldly achievements, it's nudging you towards spirituality. Yeah, I know, unexpected, right? Because Rahu's tied to Aquarius, your 12th house stuff like spirituality, peace of mind, and even travels to foreign lands, they are all up for a big boost. But hey, don't ditch your hopes for success just yet. The material progress you're eyeing, it's still on the radar. With Rahu in the mix, it might even pump up your courage to face fears and old health issues, but heads up, Rahu's not all sunshine and rainbows. It might bring some health challenges, especially nervous disorders or tummy troubles for you or your partner. So take care, folks, and look out for those around you, and especially if they're not as resilient health-wise. Now, lovebirds, listen up. If you're single, maybe hold off on the whole marriage idea for now. And for the married ones, it's time to buckle up and focus on your bond. See, with Ketu chilling in your 7th house, you might feel a bit distant from your partner or less inclined to be all mushy-gushy. So it's all about balance, and that balance is crucial during this time. Spending time on your pursuits and giving equal time to your spouse and family is key. Neglecting them might put a strain on your relationship. So it's all about that 50-50 split, all right? And Ketu's vibes might make things rocky, especially in relationships. It's like a test of patience and empathy. Try to understand your partner's psychology, empathize, and be there for them. Avoid rocking the boat because this phase might feel a bit turbulent on the relationship front. Lastly, be the beacon of stability for your spouse. Guide them with positivity and belief in your bond. Show them the brighter side. Remind them of the joy and peace in your togetherness. That, my friends, is your remedy for Ketu's influence in your 7th house. Stay mindful, be there for each other, and remember, tough times don't last, tough people do. That's the scoop for Pisces during this phase, and that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the transit video. If you would like a paid consultation, drop me an email, and I would be happy to give you a personalized reading. And also do check out my other videos on Rahu and Ketu, especially the Kala Sarpadosha and the remedies for it.